What's up, everybody? I'm Greg, and this is Kristine. Kristine, how much do we love Nashville?
Oh my god, so much.
We love it so much that we made this YouTube series of Season 2 predictions. Season 1 just wrapped up, where we go through, Kristine, we pick people, we tell you what's going to happen next time or what we think is going to happen. Nobody knows. I doubt the writers even know.
I hope that they know.
They have a rough idea.
Yeah.
Today we're going to talk about the one and only Juliette Barnes, and then in parentheses, Avery. Because I think we both think that the groundwork has been laid. But let's start from the beginning. Tell me a little bit about Juliette Barnes in Season 1.
There's too much. She is by far the most active character on the show.
A lot of stuff. She got married. She got divorced.
She got annulment.
Oh, right. She wanted a divorce.
She wanted a divorce, but she eventually granted him the annulment because she realized that
she was being a bitch. That's why she was the biggest bitch on the Nashville.
And that's the kind of interesting thing about her is she is always just like the biggest jerk, but then for a moment she'll have clarity of, I'm being an asshole. I'm sorry, and she'll like redeem herself a little bit.
There were a bunch of times in the show where she starts, she'd be being a huge bitch, and then she'd be like, "Oh, I have to be good," and then she'd go back to being a bitch again. Like her mom's a great example, right? Of like when she told her mom the first time to move in with her, right? Mm-hmm. Her mom was a recovering drug addict and all these things, and then
she just abuses.
Then she's totally emotionally abusive to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after she got married. Well, no.
We skipped a whole bunch of stuff. She stole lipsticks, right? Or nail polish.
Yes, she stole a bottle of nail polish. Then her mom got out of rehab, showed up at her gated community and was like, "Let me in."
Yeah,
I know her.
And she moved after. I'm jumping.
Then she moved away. Whatever, that's not really important. But then she
moved away without telling her mom. Wasn't that the point? Like her mom. My mom knows where this house is. I'm moving away.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the mom. Kind of like that cat that came back the next day. She was still around. You know, she just jumped back in.
The cat that came around the next day.
The cat came back the very next day. The cat came back. They thought he was a gunner, but the cat came back. You never heard this song? Okay, whatever. Google it.
Okay.
So then there's the whole, mom.
Yeah, that went on forever and ever.
Drug addict. She's doing drugs in her house, having sex with some random dude.
Yeah.
And then Juliette sends her off to rehab. Although in between that time period was when she got married and annulled.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
No, I don't. No,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Her mom was in rehab when she.
We got a paper bag and we're just tossing Season 1 Juliette facts in there. We're bogged down right now.
And then she
fires her manager
when her mom gets out of rehab. Yeah, she does, and then eventually at some point she fires her manager because she wants to go more acoustic and kind of grow up a little bit.
Yeah, she wants to do real music. He wants to keep doing pop stuff.
He wants to just make sure that transition. The problem I think was more she wanted to do it immediately, and he wants to take more of a slow.
He wanted to do like an adult approach to it, like a career approach.
Yeah, where she was just like, no, the whole thing's acoustic show. All these people paid for the show that they thought that they were going to get. Mm-hmm. Then her mom comes into the picture with a sober companion who is male, by the way, which I'm pretty sure they don't do.
Yeah. His name's Dante.
So that the incidents like this do not happen.
Right.
They don't want, intermingling of the sponsor, that kind of mingling. Anyway, so semi-handsome. I didn't really think he was unattractive.
What? Dante's totally handsome.
He didn't do it for me. But that's because I'm just set on Deacon.
Yeah, Deacon's too. Deacon's dreamy.
So dreamy.
Charles.
Dante, the worst thing to ever happen to Juliette.
Right. He comes in.
Manipulative. He comes in. Well, the odd part is I had an addiction to power.
Yeah.
And then she's like, okay, why don't you be my manager?
Right. She had fired the guy right before this. Dante starts giving bad advice. They start ignoring her mom. The mom figures out that they're fooling around. Mom flips out. Juliette tries to fire Avery during it. Deacon says, don't do that.
Juliette does not.
Dante tries to fire
Avery.
I'm just trying to get fucking through this, Kristine.
Sorry.
How much time have we burned going through the minutia of Juliette's bullshit?
This is why she's the most complicated character.
This is why she's a bitch. She's tearing this relationship and this video apart.
Well, I'll slip over. You go ahead and I'm
just trying to drive as fast as I can through the rest of this. Then Deacon says to Dante, "You're not running this show. You can't fire that guy." So Avery doesn't get fired, and then Dante keeps being a dick, and then Juliette starts being a dick to Deacon. So Deacon's like, "I'm just going to quit anyways." So Dante's driving away her friends and family and everything else. Then Juliette's mom comes back and says that she saw Dante kissing this girl downtown, and then Dante says that was really just the realtor that's trying to help you get a new house, Juliette. Juliette, and they bring the realtor in, and
then Juliette sizes her up and's like, "You're not pretty enough."
Right? Yeah, you're too nerdy with your glasses. He would never kiss someone with glasses. And so then the mom comes in and says, "No, that isn't." Blah 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 blah. Well, it turns out, of course, that this girl was kissing Dante. Yep. They are totally jerks, and they are somehow playing Juliette. Did they know from the beginning?
That's the part that's kind of weird about the whole thing. Was this a plot from the beginning? Where was this girl before? Is Dante just a sober companion hoping he gets hooked up with somebody who's like a female, female celebrity? Whatever, it doesn't really matter. Don't think about it. Kinda Dante turns out also made a sex tape one time with him and Juliette, so he says we never have a confirmation on that or not. Well, they had the SD card.
They have an SD card, but we don't know what's on the SD card.
True, could be just kittens.
That'd be an awesome sex tape. That's what he sold to Juliette for $10 million. He extorts some money. Juliette won't go to the police. This keeps going. Finally,
Mom takes things into her own.
Juliette's hands. Like, I'm just going to own up to it and go on The View.
Go
on The View. Yeah, an ABC show, of course.
Oh yeah. Good point.
I'm going to go on The View. I'm going to, and I think this is one of those things where I know there was this thread for season 1 of Juliette where she was trying to get that endorsement deal. And she had said, I want endorsement to get money. So then she went in to meet those guys, and she's like under Dante's tutelage. Mm-hmm. Don't sit down and be very blah, blah.
Be authoritative.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, I know you've heard a lot of crazy things about me, and I'm done with that. I've grown up, and yada yada. I understand she was going for that. I still think she would have come off well going public with it and being like, hey everybody, there is a sex tape of me that this guy claims I've had. Here's everything he's done to me. You know what I mean? Like I got duped. I was in love and I got duped, and that sucks.
Yeah, no, honestly, I think that it could have gone that route, and I think that they were hinting to that when she was doing her pre-run with Emily, her assistant, and Emily was like, that was great, like, you came up very sincere, like, that's what people want to see from you.
Yeah.
Is that you're a human, because a lot of times when she does interviews, she just comes off as a raging bitch.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that could have worked in her favor, but then, I mean, the way it turned out.
So then instead Juliette's mom tells Dante to come over to this hotel. She'll give him the money. Juliette's mom starts doing drugs. Dante shows up. Juliette's mom's like, I have no money for you.
I don't think she did drugs before he came over.
Really? I thought, she was crying for sure.
She's
all shaky.
because she's getting ready to murder someone.
Yeah.
So I think she was a little bit like nervous about shooting someone, and then she pulls the trigger.
So you take the edge off with some drugs.
I was actually kind of pleased about, because we were talking about, we're like, just pull the trigger, because they never do it. There's always like this thing in TVs and movie where you've got a gun, and then I just sit there talking to you forever, and then you just go blink, and oh no.
Yeah. Not this time. Dante gets shot, he's killed. Then I guess Juliette's mom does drugs.
Then she does a bunch of drugs to OD.
Continue to cop over here. she drops the SD card in the garbage disposal, destroys it.
Last OD call.
Calls Juliette. Juliette eventually gets over there, finds them both dead. Blah blah blah. Water under the bridge. Nobody knows about the sex tape in theory. But so now let's talk about season 2. Mm-hmm. The thread they've left open is that Dante had this girl he was working with, and I'm sure they aren't stupid enough to literally only have one copy of the sex tape on the SD card. There has to be another copy of that sex tape.
Yeah, I mean. And so the other character wasn't really fleshed out very well, so we don't know
who she was, what
she's doing. So maybe she'll come back.
Exactly. I think she's going to come back, and then now you figure she comes back, and then it kind of looks like Juliette set him up to be murdered. She could come back with the tape. Here's the reason he's dead. He had a sex tape about Juliette, and I assume she's going to play it off the way that Juliette sent her mother to do that, or framed her mom, or blah 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 blah.
That would be awful.
That's an interesting way to go.
That could go.
That's more season 2 drama. That's what Nashville does.
Yeah.
But let's boil it down a little bit more then. So we leave Juliette in a good place, though. Mm-hmm. She gets a letter from her mom, post-mortem.
Yes.
Saying, hey, this is what's up. I was doing this to protect you. So now
I love you. I've always loved you. Always been proud of you.
And then she goes and sings at the Bluebird Cafe the song her mom would have wanted.
One of my favorite songs in the soundtrack.
It's kind of cheery. Which one was it? I forget.
Nothing in This World Will Ever Break My Heart Again.
Great.
And I think it's called Nothing in This World. But
probably. Get it on iTunes. Yes. And then it's in the description below. And then we're in a happy place with that. But like they'd also been setting up this whole thing where Avery was on her tour now playing guitar.
Well, Avery helped her write that song.
Right.
Avery helped her work it out because he heard her backstage. He was like undoing her mic or something when she was done.
It was a love song.
And then he didn't say that. Well, he was like, you've got a song that you're writing. You better get that down on paper before you lose it. And then they did have a little thing about love songs later.
Okay, sorry, I'm confusing everything. I'm boiling everything down for you.
Yeah.
So season 2, what's going to happen? Her and Avery are getting together.
I think they won't get together. I think they'll probably have sex. They'll probably have, like, a fling.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'll, like, actually...
Make a relationship out of it? Is she able to have relationships, you think?
No, I don't think I think she needs a lot more time to heal and, like, be by herself. Yeah. And then I would personally love it if the football player came back.
What does he do? Just says hey?
No, like,
comes back as a boyfriend?
Together.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
I know, it's not going to, but I really liked them together.
No, I did too. That was cute. See, here's the thing. If she doesn't get together with Avery, what's her threat? Is the threat then resurfacing of the sex tape?
It will be another dude that they bring in. Like, eventually. I do hope for a while that they keep her away from...
She's got to be crazy. Some crazy stuff's got to happen to her.
Sure, I'm sure lots of crazy things will happen to her, but... You
figure Raina's going to be in a coma, we think, or at least.
Oh, and that was the other thing. I did like the way that they were bringing Juliette and Raina together at the very end. Like, my mother died too. They were sort of.
Yeah, they had an actual heart to heart for a second. Yeah.
So I think if Raina's in a predicament in the hospital, or whatever, then Juliette might feel even more. I mean, and that relationship could grow there too.
Sure.
Because then she'd be like, "Oh crap, I can't lose 2 mother-like figures in my life."
Good point. I was thinking it would go the opposite, and Juliette would go back out on tour without Raina, and they'd have to get somebody to fill in, and then there's more stuff.
She wouldn't even cancel a show.
But you mean, but this is before she liked her.
Sure. No, I don't know. Maybe Taylor Swift goes on the road with Juliette Barnes.
Right now, so far I think she's the mistiest of the futures. We don't know what's happening with Juliette.
Because her storyline was so crazy that
she could sign up for that Mars project to go live on Mars and die on Mars.
Oh my God. I think we just found the answer.
I think so too. All right, every one of these Nashville prediction shows ends with the wild card. Kristine, explain it.
Basically, we call to the gods, the Nashvilleian gods. There's one bag with people. There's one bag with things. We put them together to make a prediction.
We've been making our educated guesses. These are the completely blind one. Kristine, grab a person. Tell me who's this prediction going to be about.
This is going to be about Juliette's ass. That's not a person.
No, that's Juliette's assistant. I could not remember her name. Sorry. Not about Juliette's ass.
Or about her ass.
It could be about her.
So this is about Emily.
All right, so you read them in... first one's about Emily, and then you read it the same way about her ass.
Okay.
Juliette's assistant, Emily, or Juliette's ass.
You should do AST.
What? I understood it.
She does drugs.
Juliette's assistant, Emily.
I could totally see that happening. Her ass or her
ass. Her ass butt chugs some drugs.
Yep.
That's a real thing. Don't look for that on YouTube.
Don't put drugs in your butt.
Don't do that.
That's bad.
But you should put Nashville in your eyes. Ladies and gentlemen,
and your ears.
If you love Nashville, you love this show, tell us what you think is going to happen to Juliette and Avery, for that matter, in Season 2 in the comments. And if you're really into it, leave a video response detailing your prediction. Then make sure you share this, comment, like, all that stuff. Kristine, play me out.
Beyond.